I will never let this country be dragged into a war that is not in our interests. Never. That is a lesson British politics should have learnt a long time ago with Iraq. And yet, when the rush to war began on Iran, I was heavily criticised by others who had no thought for the consequences, for our country, for your family. But that is not how I operate, because I have working people in my mind's eye for every decision. And yet, delegates, I have to level with you about Iran, because the truth is the economic consequences could still be with us for some time. You don't need to be a politician to know that. You can see it on every petrol forecourt across the country. I'll repeat what I said just now because it's important. In April, because of the decisions we made at the last budget, your gas bills came down, and they will stay down until July, whatever happens in Iran. Fuel duty is also frozen until September. We've supported people who heat their homes using oil. And we are monitoring this daily. So, delegates, for example, tomorrow, I'm chairing a meeting in Cobra on the impact, bringing in people from the Bank of England, so you can be sure we will stand by working people in this crisis. Just like Iraq years ago, there is a deeper lesson here, one that British politics has continually refused to learn. Because what Iran shows is that once again, events happening miles away from Britain have the capacity to hurt our living standards, our future, and our security. And so our response will define not just this government, but arguably this generation. And so this time it must be different. We cannot respond to this moment by thinking that we just need to get back to the status quo. That is the mistake that was made after the 2008 financial crash with austerity. It was made in Brexit, COVID, and the Ukraine war. And we cannot add Iran to that list because the status quo manifestly failed working people. It kept your wages low, the economy stagnant, and your public services decimated. In other words, the status quo made working people like you pay the price. I would not go back to that, even if I could. And delegates, we can't. Because the world has changed. It is more volatile and dangerous now than at any point in my lifetime, and I'm sure in yours. It will test and test again every element of our security, our economic security, our energy security, our defence security. That's why we've had to confront such difficult decisions. We're working at pace to give Britain a stronger foundation, trying to make us a more resilient country, so we can weather not just this storm, but all the storms that are going to be much more frequent in this dangerous world.